Good morning from Riga, and it is indeed a pleasure to speak in this forum about Rail Baltica. And I will continue this topic about cooperation, building things, and bringing people and places together. So first of all, what is Rail Baltica all about? I know that in Baltics people are following Rail Baltica project very closely, but if you look from the broader perspective, let me remind you. First of all, Rail Baltica is a railway infrastructure of the European gauge, connecting 3 Baltic countries from Tallinn through Riga, Vilnius, and then further to the Europe and beyond. So this is high-speed railway for the passengers and cargo traffic. Passenger design speed is 249 kilometers per hour. For a cargo, it's 120. It is completely new economical corridor of a European gauge, which will link ports, airports, capitals of 3 Baltic countries with the Europe and amongst themselves. If we look at the time, what we are spending right now in the traveling between the capitals, it takes 4 hours with a bus, or you can fly. But in other words, from the transport, we are more treated as an island. With the Rail Baltica, we will bring the mobility, what has never been before in the Baltics. For example, between Tallinn and Riga, we will be able to travel less than 2 hours. And it's not only about the capitals, it's also about the connection on the cities and different regional stations within the corridor. For example, Riga Salasgriva, Riga Bauska, Riga Panevėžys, Riga Pärnu. All of those connectivities will bring a better dynamics to the region, and we will speak not about 3 different markets, but actually about 1 Baltics market. When you do any project, irrespectively whether it's big or small, you need to have a few basic things in your mind. First of all, you need to understand why you are doing that. And for Rail Baltica, I think that it's an obvious thing. That first of all, you are reducing this bottleneck. Bottleneck between the Baltic countries on the transport and bottleneck between Baltics and European Union. Then it's of course about the greenness of the railway. Railway is up till this moment the greenest and the safest transportation mode. So therefore, with the delivering of the railway, you are contributing to those climate goals that we have across the Europe and across the globe. We will be enhancing the transport modes, and last but not least, we are in the Baltics and we are outside border to the European Union. So the safety angle is very important, and mobility for our people. The second question you usually ask is, what exactly then you are doing? And of course, Rail Baltica, it's first of all infrastructure, and it's high-speed railway infrastructure. But above all, what we are doing, we are creating mobility for the people and for the businesses. And the third question, what is actually key, is how you're going to do it. Because it's good to have this idea, vision, or plan, but it's important that you know how you're going to do it. And first of all, for today, I want to say only a few things. In a very transparent and efficient way. We are using all the best practices what we can get in Baltics and in Europe. We are using the high-quality standards, whether it's technical, procurements, design, health and safety, all of those. We are attracting the best experts, what we can, from the Baltics and beyond. Because as you could imagine, delivering something in 3 Baltic countries, what has never done before, and we don't have experience in a European gauge railway or a high-speed railway. So we are attracting knowledge from across the world, and this also is what was discussed today, that with Rail Baltica, we are being the catalyst actually for those highly trained and educated people by building railway of 870 kilometers across 3 Baltic countries to bring this competence to the Baltics and help to develop not only railway, but economic corridor as such and well-being of all the people. And again, in order to do how, we need to concentrate on the people. Because infrastructure is not built for sake of infrastructure. It's building for the people. So we need to concentrate that they can use this infrastructure in most efficient, friendly way, and we have synergies with that. I mentioned already several times that Rail Baltica is not about the railway in essence. It's about building economical corridor. And today I believe that we will have a different panels and discussions on this topic. What does it mean actually to develop Riga and to develop Baltics? So with the Rail Baltica we see that it will bring also transformation to different sectors, whether it's IT or different culture, kind of on almost everything actually. With the coming of Rail Baltica, we will see differently. We will have a smart mobility. We will create sustainable jobs. We will transfer this know-how to the Baltic region. And this is exactly what Riga and any other city in Baltics could use as a catalyst in order to attract people and knowledge. Three more things, very quickly. Competitive. It means that with building Rail Baltica, we are not building some kind of isolated network. So the Rail Baltica will and should be open for the business, whether it's for the train operators or for this investments in the private sector, attracting different innovations, etc. So it's key that Rail Baltica is a seamless travel between the three Baltic countries and beyond in order to ensure this attractiveness for the passengers and cargo. Sustainable. I think that this has been one of the key words in the last 10 years already, and it's growing in its importance. We need to make things sustainable and according to the green principles, and railway is one of those. And above all, it has to be integrated. Integrated as a system, as a railway system between the countries and Europe, and even more important, integrated with different transport modes, whether it's roads, airports, or existing railway itself. Let me turn your attention to one more important thing. We are living in an environment with a huge impact of COVID. Also, this forum shows this, that actually we are bringing so the digital tools, but at the same time, we are moving forward kind of as a society. And most likely to expect that we will come back to the normal or how it was before, it's not going to happen. So we are in a new normal environment, a new normal life. And Rail Baltica always has been treated also from our side as a catalyst and actually help or locomotive for the recovery of the COVID. So what does it mean? If you look actually in the next 5-10 years, there will be investments in more than 6 billion euros, which we are starting already now with the detailed technical designs going on in all three countries, and also construction works in Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia. And already now we can see that there are hundreds of people who are employed by Rail Baltica from the different angles. And this Rail Baltica will also increase this, as I said, mobility between the stations, different ones in three countries, then between the airports, ports, and logistics centers. And if you look in the long term, there is plans that there will be at least 13,000 people working on Rail Baltica, plus indirect employment, whether this is healthcare, whether this is logistics services or tourism. All of that will bring as a catalyst to the global development of the Baltic region. Now, let me turn to Riga. I will give on a basis of one example, Riga Central Station. Most of you know how looks the Riga Central Station, that it is built in the Soviet times. And it's still kind of a little bit of the monument of that thinking and that approach. So with the development of Riga Central Station and entering Rail Baltica in the station, we are speaking about the new quality of the infrastructure. First of all, it's about connectivity. So it means that Central Station must be connected to the rest of the transport modes, whether it's taxis, whether it's bicycles, whether it's different regional, for example, traffics, that we have aligned this approach. And what's important here is always the last mile. It's good to arrive in a city, but then you need to understand where to go and how to go. I will give you also one good example. Currently, to get from Riga Central Station to airport, if you would take a bus, it's a little bit of excursion. So the different territories of Riga. With the Rail Baltica, there will be a possibility to put a shuttle train, which would leave every 15 minutes from the central station to station at the international airport Riga. And that would, without a doubt, bring a very clear message that city is connected and city is live. Furthermore, Riga station and beyond is blocking or dividing this Riga into two sections, Old Town and then Maskavas priešpilsēta. With the development of Rail Baltica, we will put all the trains on the estates. And that means that we will allow mobility at the ground level between those two city parts. And we will also build a new bridge across River Daugava. And that means that it will be not only for trains, but also for pedestrians and bicycles. And if we speak already about the turn counts mentioned and this knowledge mile, then this will be one of the contributions connecting center to the very developed and potentially development of the turn counts region in order to be as close and compact as possible. And to conclude my 10 minutes, what actually is needed in order for Riga and to gain most of the benefits from Rail Baltica, another way around? First of all, it's a proper attention to last mile. I said that Rail Baltica is not about the railways, but first of all, it is a railway. So Rail Baltica cannot build a city. And we need to plan together with the municipality, together with the state, and together with non-governmental organizations and experts, how best we can use this last mile and what is needed for this transport to be very efficient. Of course, with the Rail Baltica, we will be developing a new services. And this is a key that from the state and from the city, we have this push that it's not only something what trains are bringing, but that we are also developing here, whether it's from educational point of view, developing the experts and people, or from the different service of innovations and beyond. The third thing what I would like to mention, it's a cooperation. We again discussed today, and there was a good question on Slido. Do Baltic capitals compete or cooperate? And I think that this age of competition should come to the end, and we really should move into age of the cooperation and to end age of the synergies between the different transport modes and between the cities. Because trust me if I say, I've been traveling Baltics for the last 20 years. I have studied in Estonia. I have seen how the states are developing. And in essence, they are friends, they are three Baltic countries, but they are not even close the same. So they have much synergies between each other and to contribute to them. And when we plan Rail Baltica, also mere studies talk about in projects in Riga. So it is important that when we plan the projects, we plan them in the same time schedule, and we try to apply dig once principle as much as we can. So that at the end of the day, when the passengers arrive to Riga, they arrive to the full infrastructure, not only railway. And in order to do that, we need to create this synergy with the rail, roads, ports, and different transport modes, and above all, understand the patterns and future of the Riga and patterns of the traveling of the people. Thank you.